Well guys, I have finally broke down and bought me a used detach lowboy. But before we can put this thing behind the truck, we gotta do a little work to the Mack. So this trailer, which is a 2001 Dana Weld trailer, has served me very, very well over the years. Actually, back whenever we were doing the construction business, we were building a lot of houses and we were moving stuff other than equipment on a regular basis, this trailer here was the cat's meow. This thing, it was really handy. It's still handy today. And for moving the small dozers, the small equipment, and even the 120 and the 140, it works perfect. It really does. It's super handy. It works good, man. It just works good. But we have picked up a couple bigger pieces of equipment over the last couple of years. I can, and it is tight. I mean, it is tight, but I can scale the old 850B on this trailer. It takes everything it's got to make it work, but the new 850 actually weighs about 4,000 pounds more, and I can permit it to haul it, but it's pretty much a load on this trailer, and I think it's time to bite the bullet and go the detach route, which will just give us a few more options. Now this is a used trailer. It's 1986 Talbot. We'll get into that a little bit more in a minute, but first things first, before we could even pull this trailer or hook up the first piece of equipment to it, or load the first piece of equipment, we got to do some work to the truck to make it accept it. Most notably, we got to add a cross member in the back, because this trailer here has a little arm that comes down right here, and what that does is that holds this neck up as you pull away from it. So I say we get this trailer unhooked. We'll just leave the dozer on it and hope the landing gear holds. Yeah, sounds like a plan, right?
Sounds good to me.
Get this truck unhooked. Let's head up to the shop and get a plan. We did mark where that goes, didn't we?
I put a mark on it, put an arrow on it. You know,
now, in full disclosure, Aaron and I took about a 16-hour road trip.
We did.
And we actually bought this trailer out of Tipton, Iowa. So we ran up to Tipton, Iowa, picked this up, hauled it back. Pretty smooth trip. The old Mack got 12.4 miles to the gallon on this trip. It's 850 miles round trip, 12.4 miles to the gallon. Now, we were bobtail up there, and we had an empty trailer coming back, but I was pretty impressed on the old girl. She did pretty good. So, but we have at least had this thing hooked to the truck, so that kind of gives us an idea of what we need to do to make it work. So, all right, I'm procrastinating. Let's do it.
Time to get to it.
Just a little bit nerve-wracking unhooking a loaded trailer, but the D4 is not that heavy. Well, it's pretty solid, so I wasn't too worried about it. Let's head to the shop and get a plan. All right, we have officially got the truck in the shop, sir. We've been brainstorming. You seem to be in a bad mood.
Yeah.
What What'd you find?
Welding gloves, got grease all over them.
You know,
grease, gear oil, antifreeze, name it.
You know what's worse than grease, gear oil, and antifreeze?
Having to clean it all up.
Anti-seize. It can always be
that
right.
It is.
You keep those fingers away from me.
Yeah.
All right, so we need this truck tomorrow, so we can't go too far in depth with this, but we're kind of trying to get a plan of what we need to do and what we're gonna do. So let me walk you through what we're thinking. So this box here, ever since we put the box on the lowboys trailer, this box here hasn't got used a whole lot, and it has just gathered, yeah, that's just nasty. It's just been a catch-all.
Yeah.
It's just been a catch-all. So I think what we're gonna do, since we're gonna have two different trailers that are gonna have speed binders on them pulled by one truck, I think we're going to move the inverter, the charger, the drill, and a handful of tools to this truck, so to this box, so it's always on this truck at all times. That way it don't matter which trailer you hook to, you always got everything you need. We got a good little job ahead of us just getting that cleaned out.
You know, one thing that would have helped is when people use tools, if they put them back in the toolbox where they belong.
Hey, at least I soaked them in oil so they wouldn't rust.
Oh yeah, we ain't gotta worry about them rusting.
Yeah, we're good. That's
We
my.
ain't gotta worry about them
That's my
freezing either with that antifreeze in it.
That's my anti-rusting device. You know, it just kind of casually drips back the truck as it goes.
Yeah.
So. All right, so a couple other things we need to do. I already talked to you guys about. We got to add a cross member right here. So from here to here, we got to have something for that foot to push down on to hold that neck up. I think we decided we're going to use, I've seen so many trucks that just put flimsy stuff in there and it gets destroyed. So I think we're going to use a 2x6x1/4 tube, and we're probably going to make it to where it'll bolt inside the frame right here with some flanges on the end. Put a couple bolts right in there somewhere and get that all bolted up. The reason we're using 2x6x1/4 is because I'm also getting a stick of that. The other thing we need to do is we need to raise this fifth wheel up about 2 inches to help with some frame interference. We even got a little bit of frame interference with the current trailer we pull now. If you guys remember back when we rebuilt the suspension on this truck and all those videos, we put a different fifth wheel on this and we clipped the frame here. Well, we kind of canceled each other out because this fifth wheel sits lower and the frame kind of, like I said, canceled each other out. So with this new detach, my clearances are even less there. So I'm going to adjust the ride height on the trailer to help me out a little bit. And we're going to adjust the height of that fifth wheel to help us out a little bit. And should be good to go there. All the hydraulics and all that stuff all match up. Everything fits and works good. I don't know, we'll probably do this when we get to the trailer at some point. We may build some fenders on the neck of the trailer to cover these tires. But my ultimate goal is to get this truck to where we can use that trailer. We'll probably use that trailer the rest of the summer, kind of see what we got. And then if we get time between the Lieutenant Dan project and this, I'm sure we'll make a few modifications to the lowboy trailer to do what we need it to do. So that's kind of the plan. We got this in here. I made a few phone calls. We got some material ordered. I'm gonna pick it up this evening. Why, we got an hour or two to kill. I think Aaron and I are gonna clean out this box and kind of work on some wiring and getting that set up, maximize our space in there and go from there. So let's do it. Man behind the scenes.
Yep.
That looks a little bit nicer in there.
You're welcome.
I think I have video evidence of me on my hands and knees scrubbing this out.
Really?
Yes.
For like 5 seconds?
Well, in time lapse, yes.
And I got all the tools, but a couple sockets missing.
Must have been out of frame.
Cleaned up.
Must have been out of frame. We couldn't see you.
Yeah. Weird how that camera works.
It is. It's just, it always sees what it wants to see, you know?
Yeah. Not what the people are wanting to see, you know?
Well, all right, so I think we're officially ready to go for a parts run. I do have one of these. There's my wallet. I better put that away before I lose it, not that it's got anything in it. We got a DeWalt inverter. I'm not 100% convinced I want to use that. And we got a standard charger. Thinking about maybe going with a quick charger. I don't know yet. I'm gonna go do some shopping before we commit to mounting anything. And we got to pick up the steel and the bolts for back there. So you guys stay tuned. Let me round some parts up and we'll be back on this project. Well, it's a new day in the shop there, buddy.
I'm glad it is too.
You know, I don't know what's more surprising. We actually have pieces and parts, or you're actually here.
Yeah, that is very true.
You old man behind the scenes has had a little bit of a rough morning this morning.
Yeah, and I didn't have a rough night. Oh, when it's time to crash, it's time to crash, I guess.
He was close to
45 minutes late.
Hour and 20 minutes.
45 minutes late, something like that. I was 7:15, I was at the market. I meet at 6:30 at the market. But if we go by my regular time, I'm usually 15 minutes late, so I was only a half hour late.
We won't even talk about your other incident you had.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we do have some steel. We're gonna get going on this. I think the first thing we're gonna do is get this fifth wheel shimmed up. This is our 2x6 we got. I think Aaron's gonna kind of get the end of that welded in, and I'm gonna drill some holes. But first things first we need to do is we need to get that fifth wheel unbolted.
It's been waiting.
Let's do it.
Calling her name.
I think that's going to work very well, and more importantly, make a huge difference in our particular application.
Now you think this will help both trailers?
It will. Now, if we were pulling van trailers all day or we were doing a whole bunch of hitching and going, this would not be good. But moving equipment and doing crazy stuff off-road and twisting in and out of ditches and going in up and over little hills and stuff.
Like you like to do?
Well, like we've been known to do. We're trying to Captain Clean Proof it.
Oh, let's put the blame on Captain.
Yeah, he's not here. I really think this is going to be a huge improvement for our particular application. This is not for every particular application. But I think this is going to make a big difference on frame locking and maneuverability and getting around and just not getting stuck. It's just going to allow us to get around a little better. So what we're going to do now is we're going to mark all these holes with a paint marker. Now that we got where we want it, I'm going to drill all the holes on the drill press, and then Aaron is going to weld some plates to put on the end of here to keep all the debris and dirt and nasty stuff out of there. And then hopefully she'll all bolt up and be pretty.
Hope so.
Got you a paint marker?
I got me one and I got you one.
Oh, you are so nice. Team effort, huh?
Yeah.
All right, don't mark the, if it's going to be wrong, you need to write your name on that side because it'll be the one you marked.
Oh.
We know how this goes. Oh, he gives me the one that's going to be all running. That's not fair.
I have no problems over here.
Oh, this side's beautiful.
I know, I like that side
Check
out.
that one.
Now you ain't gotta make it fill it solid. With
No,
paint.
just draw a circle around it.
Yeah, so I mean I hear a lot of pop, 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 pop.
I'm trying to get my paint marker to work. Sorry, you got a cap in my mouth. All right, let's hit the drill press, see what happens. Like, seriously, is the police gonna come looking for you in a minute? Are we safe?
We've been going by Branchville every day. I don't think I'd wear this up around there. Oh yeah, gotta keep my handcuffs with me.
Like you're legit today. Like,
Oh yeah.
You're legit. All right, I've got all the holes drilled. Looks like Swiss cheese in there. Aaron's got all of his plates made. So
Pick them up.
That's a little hot. So that don't go on that one. That goes on this one. That's gonna be beautiful, buddy. That's gonna be real nice.
Yep.
Real nice.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna let him get those welded on, and then we'll probably get that painted up and ready to go back on the truck. Looking good, buddy, looking good. All right, I gotta run a few errands. I'll be back, we'll check on him and see what they look like. All right, good news, I have made it back, had to run a few errands, and speaking of errands, I think I know one that made a little screw up while I was gone. You wanna explain there, prisoner?
I didn't. My camera never gets that hot.
So he claims the camera caught on fire and he had to turn it off, which I think is a front for,
no.
Why? This one here don't have any holes on it, man, behind the scenes, but it happens to have some end plates on it.
I thought you wanted end plates on that one.
No, not that one.
We said all three. I mean, that's my story against your story.
I got video evidence otherwise, I'm sure.
Well, I was more concerned about your camera over there on fire. And
if it was on fire, how come Super
I even went and got HR and she said it wasn't right. So after that, I had that one sitting right next to the one I done first. And I just grabbed it, took off, was in a rhythm, everything going good. And I look, and I don't notice no holes in it. And I was like, oh,
did you weld both ends?
Oh yeah, both ends are welded.
Oh my God.
But then I thought, well, I'll just drill some holes in this one real quick and it'll work perfect. But I forgot it's longer, so that ain't gonna work.
And now you got to cut those back off. You got to cut those back off because now it's too long.
Yes, yeah, I know. So.
Oh, all right.
We should have just made it 32 like the rest of them, weld end caps on, and then put our bolt-up plates on. So.
Long story short, prisoner Aaron's having a rough time here, but this one here he got done. Look at that thing, guys. It looks absolutely magnificent. So I think what we're gonna do is while I've got this fifth wheel lifted off here, I'm actually gonna back this thing outside. Let's pressure wash this off real good so we can get some good paint down in there, get that cleaned up real nice, and we'll get everything painted and put back together. Did you get it filled up for me?
Yeah.
All right, let's pressure wash.
Where are you pressure washing?
The back of the truck. You ready? Got the truck back in the shop and got the fan blowing on it, getting it dried out real good so we can get some good paint down in there. I kind of did a quick little inspection on everything, checking for cracks or anything that needs to be fixed. Didn't really see anything, so that's good. Aaron is outside. He is getting, walk out here real quick, show you guys. He is getting the pieces painted for us.
we are in big trouble.
Why's that?
This is not a painting rack. This is a basketball goal.
Really?
I got the third degree.
Never noticed. So, you know what this little incident right here proves?
What's that?
This proves that management needs production to keep them in line.
How do you figure?
Because if I was here, production would have caught your mistake.
What mistake? The paint?
No, you welded the end plates on the wrong ones. Did we already?
Is this the right one?
Did you already forget? Do I need to go back inside?
I caught myself after it was completely done, and it looked so pretty.
All right, we're gonna get these things painted up, let them dry, get the truck painted up, let it dry. Probably in the meantime, we're gonna work on getting the that back cross member fabbed up. So let's go check that out. While we are waiting on paint to dry on those pieces and parts, we're gonna start in on this rear cross member. And I've kind of mocked this up in there a little bit. Basically, this needs to sit in the frame. We were gonna mount it up flush, and then I realized that's probably a bad idea, because if you guys notice, this back cross member is notched. That's so whenever you hook a trailer up, the kingpin will clear it. So I think we need to set that cross member down about 3.5, 4 inches. So this piece now is 1/2 inch too long.
Well, you know what? Wouldn't have been a 1/2 inch too long for you to cut it the same length as the other ones.
Then it would have been too short.
32.5 is what you should have made then.
Oh, no. You can't talk your way out of this one. It is what it is. So I'm gonna set this one up in the saw over there. We're just gonna cut off one side. We can just weld the plate on the other side. Let's see here. Perfect length. Add 2/4 inch pieces. 1/2 inch too long. That works with the mouth.
Yeah.
So what Aaron's gonna do is he's gonna cut, these are gonna be our 2 brackets. We're gonna weld these on the end of there, get it kind of shimmied up in there. We may have to put a porta pie in there, spread that frame to get it in. I don't know yet. And then we'll drill a couple holes in there and bolt her off.
Bolt it off.
Should be good to go. This is for, if you guys ain't familiar with lowboys and how they work, I'll show you when we get it all done. But there's a little arm that comes down, and this is what allows that neck part to rest while it's detached. So it needs to be pretty stiff, pretty substantial. So let me get this set up, get this cutting, and then we'll get her all mocked up and see how she works. Where's your orange jumpsuit, Mr. Safety First?
Okay, just for the record, I just want everybody to know I'm not an escapee. That ain't a prison jumpsuit. Them are FR, that means fire retardant coveralls. So they are legal to be doing hot work.
You do have a history of catching stuff on fire.
Yeah, I do, and myself. That's why I brought them out here. So when you know, I'm doing hot work like this, and
you're good to go.
Raggy jeans or shorts or something on, I'm good to go.
How's the cutting going?
And it's going very good. I straightened up that rough cut you had.
I'm pretty sure you did that, but okay.
Well, this was scrap. That's
it
why
is.
It was a rough cut. So yeah, I'm getting everything straightened out. It's going pretty good.
Keep up the good work.
You're just trying to slow me down so your cut ends first. I understand.
This may be true because that saw is slow. Well, we got all of our pieces cut. Do you know how they go?
Yep. There's one short side, one long side, and I went over it with the bit. He told me it's not a perfect square piece, and I flipped it and it worked. So
you put it in the right way. So basically, these plates are going to get welded on the end of here like this, and then where my thumb's at is where we will end up eventually bolting that to the frame. So we'll get those all welded off, and then hopefully we can get it down in the frame rail. That's going to possibly be the challenge. Aaron's got it all welded up. Looks pretty sharp. I'm gonna go ahead and paint just the ends right here, because this part here is the only part we can't get to while it's up in the truck. The rest of it we can paint while it's in the truck, so I'm not too awful worried about that. And then I got to run a few errands for lunch, do a few other things, and we'll come back, see if this thing will fit. Maybe a little bit interesting getting her down there in the frame rail. We will find out. We will find out together, I promise. So, see you guys in a minute. All right, I just got back from eating lunch and running a few errands. Actually went and got plates in the new lowboy trailer, so when we get this done, we can legally pull it. The other Aaron is still out running errands. He'll be back in a minute. But paint is dry. We got this all sealed up. That looks mucho better. That'll be good for a while. The question is now, is all of our holes line up? Is it gonna bolt down? So let's throw these on there, get the fifth wheel set back up on there while we're waiting on the other Aaron. Or waiting on Aaron, not the other Aaron. We only got one Aaron. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, let's see if this all fits, if this all bolts up. And yeah, fingers crossed that our paint marker marking worked. Well, I wouldn't call it pretty, but all the bolts are through the holes. I was gonna give Aaron a hard time. There was one hole on Aaron's side that was just way off, but there was about 3 holes on my side that was just a little bit off. But whenever Aaron shows up, the story's gonna be my side fit perfect and his side didn't really fit at all. And we're just gonna stick with that story, so you guys gotta go along with it. But while I'm waiting on him, I'm gonna go ahead and get washers and nuts on all those, get that started so we can rattle it down with his help whenever he gets here. And then we'll try to figure out how to get that cross member in there. So, yeah, you guys seen us bolt and unbolt that thing and do everything we need to do. So we're just gonna, that don't look a whole lot different, but my magic did make you reappear.
Hey, it should look 2 inches taller.
Well, it does look 2 inches taller and the fenders are back straight. But what you missed while you were gone, that all my people got to see, is that side over there that I marked and drilled. Yeah. Just like butter. Just the bolts just fell right through. Yeah. This side over here, I went through about 4 burr bits and 5 bolts trying to hammer them in. Because it looked like some kid with a crayon was in there cutting with a paint marker.
No.
Yes.
No, because I was real neat with my side. No. All I did was I went down in the hole and I kept it tight all the way around. I didn't splotch around like you were doing over. Oh, I got it.
Now, wait a minute. You never even seen my side because you didn't walk around. I seen both sides because I drilled all the holes and I was like, man, I hope these are right because this is a squirrely mark.
No, mine were dead on.
No.
Yeah,
no.
I did.
I have video evidence that they're not so much dead on.
Here's the thing. How do you know which side was which?
Huh?
How do you know which side was which?
I marked them.
You didn't mark?
I did.
No, you
I
didn't.
can tell by the marks.
I can tell.
Hey man, behind the scenes, sometimes I just know which side is which.
No, I took my time on my side. You're over there
We'll let these guys in the comments decide whose side was which. How's that sound?
What I'm saying
we'll
is,
let the people
swap them.
You can't keep campaigning. The campaign's over.
Saying,
it's time for election.
This side here was laid out perfect.
All right. Anyways.
Tell me the truth.
All right. So you ready for the next debate?
Yeah.
Man behind the scenes thinks we can just take that cross member and hinge it in there.
No, I did not say that.
That's exactly what you said. Now the red light's flashing. He's changing his tune.
No, that's why you need the camera out when we're discussing this. I said we're going to take this bar out, this crossbar right here that the tail lights are mounted to. Take it out, then we'll be able to stick it in, and we'll get it in there.
I agree with everything you just said, except the person's mouth that come out of.
Oh my God! I said when we were talking about this, I'm like, yeah, it'd be pretty easy, even though we put. Remember how we did these, but we could still get it in there, and it'll pop right up in there. I know it will, with that out. And then,
I don't think we have to take it all the way out. I think we just have to take one side loose.
Oh, so you want a quarter power then? See?
But before we do that, I want to see you try to put it in there the way it is now, because if it goes in there the way it is now, I'd feel really stupid if we took that loose. And I need some good video.
I don't think it will.
Let's try it.
Go in like this.
There's only one way to find out.
Too big of an angle, and that thing's pretty heavy.
Okay,
you got an
fine.
overhead
Here.
hoist?
No, you take
oh,
that.
okay. I mean, did you get it painted while it's gone?
Well, you'll just have to wait and see. Surprise.
You know, I had to go to the doctor's office, and
I had to go somewhere worse.
that's all you paid?
I had to go to the license branch. That's worse than the doctor's office.
Well, it was a lot quicker than the doctor's office.
Yeah, it's a round peg in a square hole for sure.
I think if you beat on it just a little bit, it'll go.
I don't think I'm going to take your advice on that one.
I want to see it.
I know you do. All right, let's take these two bolts loose, see if we can spread it enough and get it in there.
All right, finally listening to me. I like it.
No, it's going to my original plan that you switched plans on me.
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely so. All right, we got our two bolts out over there. We got our porta power in here. You ready to see if we can get that cross member in there?
Yeah.
How do you think
I noticed it did when we unbolted it. It closed together about 3 inches and shot this up. And...
It's gonna be fine. I promise. All right, here we go. You ready?
Yep.
Well, I didn't fit in there horribly shabbily. I think our length's right. Our placement's about right. As that fifth wheel on the trailer comes up over there, the kingpin should miss that. I don't know. We're gonna have a dead stop right here. I don't know. We may have to build a ramp there one day, but we'll see if that's an issue before we go to fix it. But we need to get this thing bolted off. We actually took the jack, instead of taking the rear tires off this thing, we took a jack, oscillated the suspension a little bit. Got us some clearance back here. Let's drill some holes, buddy. It goes that way.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice making that. Oh, that's good. Magic.
There she goes. That mag drill sure makes life easy.
Got a little piece of Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah, it does, don't it? All right, mark it out. Stuck in there.
And I wasn't all the way through.
Yeah, you're all the way through.
Is it?
Yeah. You're just in an arguing mood today, ain't you? Look.
I didn't.
That's what they call it, a slugger bit. See the slug?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, how about? Okay.
Well, that frame rail is thicker than it looks, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty thick. All right, you ready?
Yep, I'm waiting on you.
A little spray, please. There we go. Ready?
One hole is drilled. Man, you drill some beautiful holes.
It's all in the operator. It's what you always tell me. Well, it's like moving dirt, right?
I'm gonna give you a win on that one. So, all right, we're gonna do that 3 more times while he's drilling that hole. We're gonna go round up some bolts and get this thing bolted off. We could just reuse the bolts out of the fifth wheel. That'd be considered recycling, right? I like that idea. Oh, that's a beautiful fit. Very nice. Man behind the scenes, I don't fit in there too shabby.
No.
We're gonna tell them about our little issue we had over here, or just
Nope.
we're just gonna ignore like that.
Fit
Never happened. Huh? Fit good.
I mean, if anything, we
No
had
flaws?
we had to upsize to 3/4 instead of a 5/8.
How many people in this video have already commented, that truck needs a set of tires on it? I bet you there's already 50 comments. That tire, it's actually in one of Officer Hoover's videos here recently, is still legal. Now, is it almost wore out? Absolutely. Hopefully this truck will get a new set of tires on it before winter, but we're gonna run them for all they're worth before we get there. That one there is the worst than the rest of them, but we still got our 232nds and all the major made tread patterns, so we're good to go. But anyways, man behind the scenes is gonna throw some paint on that. Fifth wheel is done. One thing, we put this other fifth wheel on here. This one here is an air sliding fifth wheel. And I'll show you when we get down there, but that other trailer has got the ramps welded on the front of it. I think we're gonna have to slide this fifth wheel back to get the mud flaps to clear. So I don't have a switch in the dash for this, so we're gonna kind of go this route. I rigged up this little fitting right here, and basically I should just be able to plug my air hose into that. We can slide the fifth wheel, unhook it, lock it in and be good. So anyways, we're gonna get all of our stuff cleaned up. We're gonna back this truck out of the shop and head down and see if it hitches up and what she looks like.
Hey, you just show them how good paint makes my welds look. Look at them shining now.
Attaboy!
No, I'm talking about the paint. I didn't think it looked that good, and it's starting to look really good now.
I'll stay this far away so I don't disappoint anybody.
That's right. Don't see no frosty holes coming through.
That's true. Moment of truth. Heading to the lot. Let's see if she'll work. It is bright out there. Well, let's roll. Man, oh man, I sure hope all these changes / improvements work. We are fixing to find out.
All right, you ready for first attempt?
Real scary smooth.
Yeah.
I think we got our clearance we need on everything. We definitely need to slide that fifth wheel back. All right, let's turn her out.
All right. Ready. Well, you got almost a foot.
That is mucho better. Before, if we hauled this thing home from Iowa, we had like 2 inches in there. It was a soon-to-be disaster for sure. That is much better. Much better. I still think we need to slide that fifth wheel back. Let's try to do that real quick.
All right. You ready? Oh, that's it. You're all the way back.
Sweet.
Oh yeah. Shouldn't have no problems at all now.
That's what I was talking about, is the guy welded on the flip-on ramps, and we were having some clearance issues with the mud flaps, and I think that gained is just what we needed right there.
Yep.
It's definitely riding high, but it's slower than that one.
Yeah.
I think there's one thing left to do. Let's pull it out here in the middle and detach it.
All right. Tell you kids, they never grow up. Well, I didn't see no mud flap flying up. I may see some wheels bouncing, but I didn't see no mud flaps flying. All right. Man, I can walk right over this one. I like this.
All right, so first thing we need to do, raise this up.
And then you gotta
Release that.
gotta get air. It's all right, learner course yet.
That'll be hard to remember. All right, we got air. All right, let her down.
Now you got your pin. Up, you gotta.
Oh, that's safe.
Yep. All right, pin's out.
All right, now we got to.
It's your front one. There you go.
Hit my cross member. Hit it, did it?
We're hitting in. And we're hitting left.
Man behind the scenes, it's in 2 pieces.
It is.
This is one of those few occasions, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Our cross member is none too high, but as you guys seen us hook up the trailer, it's none too low either. It's just barely missing that light bracket, which is absolutely perfect. It seems to be plenty strong enough to hold that neck up, so that's good. 5th wheel height seems to be about right, man. It may be riding high, but for what we do, I want the extra clearance. It's gonna save us some trouble in the future, and that's gonna be pretty slick loading a lot of equipment on right there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
belly ticklers.
It's gonna be an improvement over this one. I still got a feeling this one's gonna be the main lowboy, except for some of the heavier hauls. Mostly the 2 track hose and the 2 big dozers, but all the small stuff will probably end up on that one. Now the question is, we got it unhooked. Can we get it rehooked?
Can you get it rehooked?
We're fixing to find out.
Yes.
So, have you ever gave Last Resort its name yet? So, just for everybody, the Last Resort, I call it Last Resort because this is the last trailer we're going to go to use. But I think he'll use it more than he says he will. But I'm calling it Last Resort because he ain't came up with a name yet. So, we'll see here how this works. Oh, went pretty good. Went pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Yep. Just want to make sure we got everything down in here. All right. Getting quick at it. All right.
Look at her, guys. She's a beaut, ain't she? Well, guys, as I said in the beginning of the video, this is actually a 1987 35-ton Talbot triaxle lowboy. It's had some work done to it over the years. For the most part, the main running gear, the main frame, everything is in pretty good shape. It does have some miles on it. It does need a little bit of TLC. As you guys can see, the light bracket here is pretty roasty. And got some U-bolts down there that they pass inspection, they're good, but I would like to I'd like to just kind of go through it and make sure everything's to my satisfaction, to be honest with you. And I got to figure out what everything's going on here. But here's what we're going to do with this lowboy for now. We're getting into the latter part of summer, so we're probably going to run it pretty hard here the last half of summer, kind of see if any other issues arise or anything's going on. And at some point this winter, hopefully after Lieutenant Dan's done, we'll probably back it in the shop, do a little lighting, do a few little things to it, just kind of customize it for us a little bit. But I want to use it for a while, kind of see what it needs and what it don't need, and kind of what we need to do to it, what we don't need to do to it. But for the most part, it's ready to roll, man. I am so pleased with the clearance up there. We picked this thing up in Iowa. I was pretty concerned about that. Got 2 inches on the 5th wheel. It made, I wish I had pictures of it before. It made a huge difference, But the charging station, guys, we kind of ran out of time on this video. This truck's got to roll, the trailer's got to roll, everything's got to roll. It's just go time. It's that time of year. But this truck is due for a service, so the next day we get a rain, either myself or Captain Kleeman, we're going to finish up the charging station. I need to get this trailer equipped with speed binders. I believe soon we're going to have a link for speed binders, so stay tuned for that. And we're going to put this thing in in circulation into the fleet and see what goes. You guys seen something leaking up there? That is actually rainwater. We've had rain, a little bit of rain the last couple days. Yeah, 6 inches. About tipped my dump trailer over there the other day. So
I wish we'd have had a video.
Oh my goodness. We're supposed to be starting on my new building soon, so we've been cleaning up the lot, getting ready for it. We moved it over there and it started holding water, and it was about bad news bears. But guys, that's a wrap on this one. Stay tuned for some trucking videos of the new trailer, and hopefully we'll have some more modifications on the truck. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. As always, catch you on the next one. Tell them bye.
See you guys.